Good morning, Boker Tov, and a challenging morning as today is Yom HaZikaron LaShoah V'Ligvura, a day of remembrance of the tragedy, the crime, the heroism, the beyond words of the Shoah, of the Holocaust. And together this morning we remember those who were lost. We recognize and take heed to those who survived, and we continue together to seek to live and learn the lessons from this horrific crime against humanity and against the Jewish people. Anita and Joni and Annette, and glad that you're here this morning, and to Sulang and Seymour, and appreciative that Cantor Osborne will be with us today as well. And so we begin our service now, as we do each day, and especially today, with a sense of gratitude. Please join me in the Hebrew and the English. Gratitude for another day upon which to gather and remember. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר יצר את האדם בחוכמה וברא בו נקבים נקבים חלולים חלולים גלוי וידוע לפני כיסא כבודך שאם יפתח אחד מהם או יסתם אחד מהם אי אפשר להתקיים ולעמוד לפניך. ברוך אתה אדוני רופא כל בשר ומפליא לעשות. Blessed eternal God, creator of the universe, you have fashioned our bodies with wisdom, creating within us a finely balanced network. To stand before you in prayer is itself a fragile miracle. Eternal God, we praise you as the healer of body and spirit. And we continue with the prayer for the soul. The soul that you have given me, O God, is a pure one. You have created and formed it, breathed it into me, and within me you sustain it. So long as my soul is within me, I will give thanks to you, eternal my God and God of my ancestors, source of all creation, sovereign of all souls. We praise you, eternal God, in whose hand is the power of all life and the spirit of all flesh. And we continue La'asok b'divrei Torah. Today is such a crucial day for learning. Every day is a full commitment to learning, and yet on the day where we remember the Shoah, learning in the truest sense, again and again, experiencing the stories and the realities and the facts and the lessons so that we might make them part of our lives going forward. There is no day where this is a greater obligation. Please join me. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם אשר קידשנו במצוותיו וציוונו לעסוק בדברי תורה. וערב נא אדוני אלוהינו את דברי תורתך בפינו ובפי עמך בית ישראל, ונהיה אנחנו וצאצאינו וצאצאי עמך בית ישראל, כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך לשמה. ברוך אתה אדוני המלמד תורה לעמו ישראל. And Cantor, if you're with us at this point this morning, please go ahead and turn on your video, as when we remember this particular text, we take the time today to do learning. We do so not just with any text, but turning to Psalm 23, so that we might remember those who walked in the shadow and had to live in the valley of the shadow of death. And I think that while Cantor is with us, he may be having um,
I'm going to have to I'm going to have to say those dreaded words. I've got a note here that says unable to start video because it is disabled by the host.
Yeah, it's just a change in settings. You should be able to now. My apologies for that. and allow me to share the words so that Cantor can share Psalm 23 with us.
Adonai roi lo echsar bin ot deshe yarbitseni al menuchot yenachaleni nafshi yeshovev yancheni v'magle tzedek leman shemo gam ki elech v'getz al mavet lo hirara ki ata imadi shiftecha u'mishanatecha hema yenachamuni ta'aroch lefanai shulchan neged sorerai dishanta Hashem roshi kosi revaya ach tov v'chesed yirdefuni kol yemei chayai v'shavti bevet Adonai leorech yamim.
Let's join in the translation of these words today as well. With the Eternal as my shepherd, I shall want for nothing. I will lie down in a beautiful pasture. As I am led along restful waters, my soul will be restored. I will be guided along the paths of righteousness, serving God's higher purpose. Adonai roi lo echsar. Even when I must walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil when you are with me. Your strength and your support comfort me. When facing my enemies, your protection stretches out before me, sustaining mind and body. Adonai roi lo echsar. Only goodness and mercy will pursue me all the days of my life. I will live in God's presence for the rest of my days. And now as we continue with reciting Shema today is not merely the daily affirmation that it is each and every other day, but we remember that in the darkest moments of Jewish life, in those moments that we ourselves, if we did not live through them, cannot imagine, our people have recited Shema even in Auschwitz, even in those places of deepest human darkness and evil. And so today, as we recite Shema, we do so aware of the price others have paid for the continuity of our people, of what's been done to them, and of our affirmation of building a better, strong Jewish, humane future. Please join me. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. ויאמר אדוני אל משה לאמור, דבר אל בני ישראל ואמרת עליהם, ויעשו להם ציצית על כנפי בגדיהם לדורותם. ונתנו על ציצית הכנף בתיל תכלת, והיה לכם לציצית, וראיתם אותו. וזכרתם את כל מצוות אדוני, ועשיתם אותם, ולא תטעו אחרי לבבכם, ואחרי עיניכם, אשר אתם זונים אחריהם. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. Adonai Elohechem, Emet. In honor of this commemorative day of Yom HaShoah, of the Day of Holocaust Remembrance, we remember the power of all those who resisted in every way, as all did, all those who were lost, as well as those who survived. And Cantor Severin Weingort, our cantor who served this congregation for 3 decades and more. He himself was a survivor, and Temple was preserved his story of how he and his parents were taken and were imprisoned in a work camp in Pyeonggi. At the time, Cantor Weingort was only 15 years old. And I want to share a part of his story. I'll tell you how to find it once we hear the cantor's words.
Place is part of the war machine, and we're funneling all available labor to the work camp.
And I had to, this kid of 15, 16, had to look after mom and dad because they were completely lost. They didn't know what to do.
Severin's brother Yitzchak set up a way out of the town of Pyeonggi.
One moment, as I'm just having a little bit of problem myself, and hopefully you could hear it, but I could not, and therefore would not be able to stop the video at the right time. So let's try again in the hopes that the video will work. Just give me one more moment as for some reason the audio is not working and I'm going to have to reload it. Just give me one moment. Apologize for this delay. See if I can. I'm going to try it one more time, and please let me know in the chat whether you're able to hear the words.
Had to look after mom and dad because they were completely lost. They didn't know what to do.
Severn's brother Yitzchak set up a way out of the town of Pionki for the three if they could get away out of the work camp. His brother helped Severn and his parents escape the work camp by introducing them to the Polish underground.
I became much more stronger when my brother came back from the Soviet zone in Poland. And he started work with me and told me, either we follow the flow like everybody else, submit, or fight for your existence.
Once in Pionki, Severn learns about the German routine schedule and starts planning an escape for him and his parents.
So I found out how the motorcycles, the Germans, and what was the time, and they told me the German perfection. Everything. 2 o'clock is 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock is 3 o'clock. There never was anything that was different. And I started to talk to my parents that I'm going to get you out of this mess.
He tells a Jewish capo his plans.
So I told him, you're the only one I'm going to tell. If you're going to snitch on me, go ahead. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to take my parents. And he thought for a while, said, do me a favor. If you go, take my wife and child with. I said, yes.
When the time came to try to escape, the capo was too afraid to send his family. 3 boys had been caught and hanged. Cantor decides this is the perfect time to make an attempt because no one would be so foolish or so brave.
And my mom and dad were right behind me in the next group of people. And when they hung him, I turned around to my father and mom. I said, get ready. We're leaving right now. So he said, but you know they're watching. I said, nobody will think anybody will have the guts after watching this to try to escape. That's how I got them out of there. We see the patrols go by and everything. And there was one, I don't know how my mom did it, there was dug ground, and they had the 2x4 to across it. And I said to Mom, we have to pass. We can't go around this. We must go right across. So she says, I won't be able to do it. Don't look down. Just put one foot in front of the other. She did it.
Severn's uncle on his mother's side and his brother were in Russia at the time. His brother would come back briefly around 40-41 and head to Warsaw to join the resistance movement. Once having escaped from Pionki, Severn and his family embark on a dangerous journey to Warsaw. They have to go by train from Pionki back to Rodom in order to get a train to Warsaw.
When I boarded the train in Pionki, as a matter of fact, I had an incident as my mom and dad already were on the train. I want to make sure that they are on the train. And as I was passing the ticket master, or whatever this is, he took the ticket from me and they passed to the train and he left. And this young fellow suddenly comes up. He looks at me. He says, what the hell are you doing here? So I looked at him. I said, couldn't recognize him where I've seen him or anything like this. And he says, where are you running? And I had a watch on, a wristwatch. So he was robbing me of my wristwatch. He said, give me your wristwatch. So I said, take it. And as he put his hands on me, I gave him a shot in his face. I don't know where I got the strength and who told me. The train was, you know how train starts? Started, and I chased it. And jumped on it at the last, the platform, and I heard this, Jew. And but there was nobody there ever to pick it up, because I was expecting, if they knew they pick it up, that some Jew on the train, that the next stop, but no, nothing. So my mom and dad, they weren't as husband and wife. They had two different names. And I just sit over there and we are not a family. And we got to Warsaw. And by the time to get to Warsaw, I look up, there was, from the station, there was a stairway going up to this. And there were two Gestapo. My mom took one look at this. Look who's up there. I said, yeah, just go straight up against them. So they started walking. And I, of course, like happy-go-lucky, just went up, jumped out there, and look at this guys right in the face. So they did, because usually when you're afraid of something, you have something like this. I just looked at them right. They never bothered me. And I went through, and they were waiting, people waiting on the other side to take us to where we're supposed to stay.
So many different kinds of courage, so many different ways to have strength. That's part of the movie we made about Cantor Weingart. If you go on YouTube and just put in Cantor Severin Weingart, you'll be able to find the whole movie, 33 minutes, on Temple Sinai's YouTube channel. And we now want to pause and honor and remember all those whose lives were taken, whose lives were lost. Cantor Osborne is going to share with us the memorial prayer for the victims of the Shoah.
שוכן במרומים, המצא מנוחה נכונה תחת כנפי השכינה, במעלות קדושים וטהורים. כזוהר הרקיע מזהירים את נשמות 6 מיליון אחינו ואחיותינו שנחרגו על קידוש השם בעל הרחמים, בעל הרחמים, אסתירם בסתר כנפיו לעולמים, ויצרור בצרור החיים את אדוני הוא נחלתם, וינוחו בשלום על משכבם,
O God, full of compassion, who dwells on high, grant perfect rest in the shelter of your presence to all those who died for the sanctification of your name, those who were murdered in the Nazi terror of the Shoah. Remember all those whose blood was spilt by murderers in Auschwitz, Belzec, Bergen-Belsen, Dachau, Majdanek, Sobibor, Treblinka, and other extermination camps in Europe, who were killed, burned, or buried alive as martyrs, for whose souls we now pray. May their resting place be with the eternal. Source of mercy, shelter them in the shadow of your wings for all time. And may their souls be bound up in the bonds of ongoing and everlasting life. God is their inheritance. May they rest in peace. And let us say together, Amen. We continue this morning with our prayer for those who fight for the Jewish state, who fight for our people, who fight for never again. And so we turn to the prayer today for the soldiers of the IDF. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא יברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל ושאר מגיני עמנו העומדים על משמרתם. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless the soldiers of the IDF and all who stand on guard for us. May the Holy One guard them against all difficulty and distress, injury and illness. May all of their actions bring blessing, fulfilling the prophet's words. Let them beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Let nation not lift up sword against nation, and may they learn war no more. May all sit under a vine or fig tree, with none to make them afraid, and together we say, Amen. Our prayers turn to now our prayers for healing for all those in need of strength and healing, those in our family, those in our circle of friends, those who continue to survive after witnessing the Shoah themselves and their descendants. Our hearts are with all in need today, especially those still cruelly and criminally held captive by terrorist Hamas and their criminal allies. For each of them, for all of them, for the names given to me and given to Temple, the names placed in the chat in this and other services. For all of them, we turn to these words of a refuah. מי שברך אבותינו אברהם יצחק ויעקב ואמותינו שרה רבקה לאה ורחל הוא ירפא את כל מכותינו. יהי רצון מלפניך אדוני אלוהינו לאחל עמם ולרפאותם וישלח לנו מהרה רפואה שלמה ועטרת שלום ונאמר Amen. May the one who blessed our ancestors bless and heal all who suffer. May it be the divine will to provide healing and strength. Reveal to us the holiness of life, the wholeness of shalom, and together we say, Amen. Well, now we've had the time today to connect and to reflect, and so we take time likewise to remember, recalling those who died in recent days and weeks, those who died in this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. During the period of this last 30 days, during these days and weeks, we extend our condolences to the families of Gary Brown, Hagit Chovav, Nora Boyd, Irving Feldman. It is our sad duty to report the death of our member, Judith Judy Gert. Our condolences to the whole family. The funeral is today at 2 p.m. From Benjamin's Park Memorial Chapel. Additional information available on their website. We also remember all victims of war and terror, including terror victim Moshe Musa Hoan and victim in the war, Warrant Officer Galeb al-Nassasra. And on Yahrzeit on this day, today, the 26th day of Nisan, the 24th of April, 2025, we honor on their life and legacy on Yahrzeit of Harry Joshua Edelman, Fagel Baker, Willie Ben-Ari, Harry Fisher, Ephraim Ian Hoffer, Marjorie Germain, Manny Klein, Carl Lax, Valentine Picard Singer, Ben Pollock, Rita, Rivka Ritchie, Mala Shinoff, and on this Yom HaShoah, We honor and remember all those who were lost, all those whose names we know, all those whose names we cannot know. For each of them, for all of them, in preparation for turning to the words of Kaddish, we take together a moment of silence. Zichronan Livracha, may their memories be a blessing to us. Our griefs and our sympathies are mingled as we turn together to words sanctified by memory, words glorified by hope. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach u'uteh v'yamlich malchuteh, b'chayechon u'vyomechon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala u'bizman karev yemur, amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mavarach le'alam u'lalmei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha baruchu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tishbachata v'nechemata, damiran v'alma v'mu. Amen. Yehe shlama rabba min shmaya v'chaim, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. Oseh shalom b'momav, v'yaseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'mu. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and bring comfort and strength to all who remember. And together we say, Amen. Well, wishing everyone a very meaningful day. Let's make the most of this day. Let's make it a significant one and a meaningful one. Boker Tov, never again. We will always remember.